for Erika, Kirk, and Fort Huachuca. Now, why is this crazy? For those of you that don't know the backstory here, essentially, this guy, Mitch, it was very compelling, said that he saw Brian Harpole leaving this meeting at Fort Huachuca on September 9th. Now, I wanted to give him the platform after I verified where he was to tell his story, but he also had to include the part where he claims that he saw Erika Kirk the night before, also on Fort Huachuca at Candlewood Inn and Suites, okay? Now, truthfully, I put it at 50-50 because, like I said on my show, I believed that he was at this meeting was significant and that it concluded. I felt really strongly that he saw Brian Harpole. But what's his memory like? Are you good at remembering faces? Did you just see another blonde and think that it was Erika Kirk? Genuinely, I thought it was at like 50-50 until tonight, where all of a sudden there were all these attacks regarding Fort Huachuca. We didn't really know where they were coming from. You got people calling me insane. Alex Jones jumps into the fray. I'm like, what is happening right now? Why does Fort Huachuca have so many people triggered? Well, there were these YouTubers, Paramount Tactical is one of them, who was basically teasing, like, we're going to take down Mitch and show you guys that he's not a credible witness by going back and going through the files of his marriages and ex-relationships and to show you that he's an abuser. And this is going to be the end of Candace Owens' career, like totally weird and distracting. Like, I never told my followers that they should go marry Mitch. I have no idea what he was doing 20 years ago in a relationship. There were no convictions against him that I could find, whatever. The point is like, we didn't know where this was coming from. Everyone was like, money must have just gone out. Like, what is happening? Well, tonight was when they did their live to expose me and accidentally exposed Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk. Now, I'm going to show you the messages. Andrew Colvett was apparently live texting this guy Erika's alibi. Now, this means Erika is sending her alibi. Why wouldn't you just send it to me? Obviously, I didn't have a horse in the race of whether or not he saw you at the hotel. You could have just been like, here's where I was on September 8th. And this whole idea of you even being there would have gone away. Instead, she sends it to Andrew Colvett to send to these obscure YouTubers who are live, and it didn't click with them that Andrew Colvett did not want them to say that he was their source. So this guy just starts live reading the messages that are coming in from Andrew Colvett, where he proceeds to give an alibi that no one asked for. He's like, this is what Erika was doing on September 9th. Okay, the guy said he saw her on the 8th. It's kind of like the Brian Harpole, where they're just like giving us alibis for times that we're not talking about. Again, I wasn't even necessarily pressuring them for an alibi, but he then proceeds to walk him through what Erika was doing on September 9th, and he's pretending like she doesn't even know what Fort Huachuca was, even though her mother has a contract with the Department of Defense and would have obviously had to have been familiar with Fort Huachuca, which is in her backyard, and in Turning Point USA's backyard as well. Again, I would like to point out that no one said Erika was in some fort, no one said she was in Tucson, and no one said that they saw her on September 9th anywhere. So I don't know what this is. It's just weird. It's a totally strange thing to say. Again, when you have an easy pathway to just reach out to me and say, hey, I saw you mention something on September 8th. Here's where Erika was. Notice that's Erika's hand. So that means Erika, the CEO of Turning Point USA, is directing the spokesperson of Turning Point USA, Andrew Colvett, to send her alibi to Paramount Tactical as he is like going into the history of Mitch and supposed to be exposing Mitch for being a serial abuser, but actually exposes Turning Point USA. You just cannot make this up. This is like a PR nightmare, a crisis. Is this just a crisis? Wait, I'm going to show you another message from Andrew, being super discreet here. Look, I'm just saying the TikTokers are going to have a field day. Okay, Bibi Netanyahu has not gotten these TikTokers out of control. They already are not feeling the vibes about Erika. Now you got this directing behind the scenes attacks on really Candace for whatever reason, but sending them out to do videos about Mitch. and then you do this like false debunking when it's just like so like telling the truth is free. Like if you could just be like, here you go, it's going to lead people to ask questions, and it's probably the opposite thing is going to happen where people are going to wonder if Mitch's memory was correct and he did see Erika at Fort Huachuca on September 8th in the evening as Charlie Kirk was touching down from Tokyo into Los Angeles. So I sent him 2 messages asking if he could just answer whether or not he was there, because I don't want to throw like any shade his way. I had sent him, just to get to the Cabot Phillips bit, I had sent Mitch multiple photos of guys like this person. I thought maybe Dan Flood this. He's like, no, 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 no. I gave him no context, but saw that Cabot Phillips was trending, and I had no idea he was one of Erika's exes. I sent him the photo, and he's like, that's the guy. That's the guy that was with her. And again, I'm now relying on Mitch's memory. I don't know what his facial recognition software is. If it's like mine, it's terrible. Okay. I can meet someone like 5 times and still not place their faces. But if it was my husband, he can meet someone once and he's like, that's him. We saw him at the airport in New Jersey. You don't remember. And I'm like, of course I don't remember. Some people have it, some people don't. So I just wanted to try to confirm it. Cabot Phillips did not respond to me. Okay, he's not, you can say he's not required to respond to me. That's fine. I'm giving you the information. I would probably respond, like, just because it's such an easy thing to do. But that was interesting. I was compelled by that. He said that he thought the person was potentially a pilot or would have had pilots in his family, because Mitch said, I'm a watch guy and I recognized his watch, and it's a watch that pilots wear. It's digital. It had a yellow button, whatever, whatever. Well, there's never been anything publicly about Cabot being in the military. So I was like, that seems wrong to me. And then sure enough, I dug up a post that his grandfather was I don't know, like awarded high honors in the military and was an Air Force guy. So I was like, okay, well that's another like interesting thing that's happening. I would like to look further into that. Now, in terms of people saying that, Erika doesn't owe you an alibi, I didn't ask Erika for an alibi. So when suddenly I realized that Paramount Tactical was speaking with Andrew Colvett and she was providing an alibi to Andrew Colvett, well then suddenly now, if you're going to provide an alibi, then let's provide an alibi. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to just like communicate whatever that alibi is. I never demanded it privately. I didn't demand it in her face. And I still don't, even if she had said, yeah, I was at Fort Huachuca, I was at a hotel and I was dropping off a package, that doesn't necessarily put her at the meeting the next day. But Mitch did say that the person who he thinks looks like Cabot Phillips was at that meeting the next day. So obviously that's interesting. Like, obviously, if we're investigating this, we should just, like, we could check it off the list and move on. I have messaged Brian Harpole, just so you guys know, thus far, I want to say 4 times, at least 3 times, asking him. Again, we can't say he was willing to give his flights, but doesn't want to also just give his metadata or a picture or something they took a text message at that time to clear his name. You either want to give an alibi or you don't want to give an alibi. You either are saying, I don't owe you an alibi, I don't want to answer at all. But if you're going to do something halfway, then you should provide a full alibi. Now, I will say that I had some communication. I did message also once the thing exploded with Andrew Colvett, because he's just getting on my nerves. Like, really, I have been so nice in terms of what I have told the public about things that Andrew Colvett told me. He's starting to like a little bit play with the bull, and we're getting real close. We're getting real close to me just saying, if you guys really think that I have not been fair, you will really recognize how fair I have been if he keeps pressing me. And I felt very pushed by that Paramount Tactical thing. These people are lunatics, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, send me a text and I could have shut it down immediately. But you're like, I'm assuming you're also the person talking to Andrew. I mean, speaking to Alex, because Alex did say on his show that he spoke to Turning Point USA people and like he had Brian Harpole's flight. So it's pretty obvious. It seems like they're working behind the scenes, and that's annoying me. It's annoying me a lot, actually. Um, Anyways, so once I saw that Andrew Colvett was speaking with Paramount Tactical and being, I don't know, I guess sort of denigrating what we were doing, I then was like, okay, let me text someone more responsible at Turning Point USA and ask, hey, do you guys want to give me an alibi? So I put Andrew Colvett and the COO in a chat, and I was like, hey, just figured we could have a direct line and you can just give me Erika's alibi and I'd be happy to publish it, because I'm not interested in like throwing mud on someone's name. I just want to get to the truth. That conversation was had yesterday, and they did